The Bentley Mulsanne glided to a stop outside the Pinewood Grill, its deep black paint reflecting the golden glow of the streetlights. The low of the idling engine was a quiet presence in the night as Michael Jordan stepped out, adjusting the cuffs of his tailored jacket. The crisp evening air carried the warm scent of grilled steak and fresh bread, a promise of a fine dining experience. Beside him, Darius hesitated before shutting the passenger door, his sneakers scuffing lightly against the pavement. He stuffed his hands into his hoodie pockets, glancing up at the restaurant's imposing entrance, where large mahogany double doors framed a polished gold sign. The Pinewood Grill was one of the most exclusive dining spots in town, a place where wealth and status spoke louder than anything else. "You sure about this place?" Darius asked, his voice low with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. Jordan gave a small, knowing smirk. "Why not? Heard it's good." They stepped toward the entrance, their presence drawing a few glances from the sharply dressed valet attendants. Inside, the restaurant hummed, with a soft, sophisticated energy. Chandeliers cast a golden hue over white linen tables, the clinking of crystal glassware blending seamlessly with the smooth melody playing from unseen speakers. Conversations were hushed, refined, a place where power dined in quiet luxury. A young blonde hostess stood at the polished podium, poised with effortless grace. Her uniform was immaculate, her hair styled in a perfect bun. The moment she looked up and recognized Jordan, her eyes widened slightly but only for a second. Something shifted behind her polite expression. Her smile faltered, the warmth behind it cooling into something distant. "Good evening," she said, her voice clipped but controlled. "Do you have a reservation?" Jordan's expression remained unreadable. "Table for two." She hesitated, her fingers grazing the pages of the leather-bound reservation book. She flipped through it too quickly, too absently before stealing a glance over her shoulder. A silent exchange passed between her and the manager, a middle-aged man in a crisp gray suit standing a few feet away with his arms folded. The way he subtly shook his head was barely noticeable to an untrained eye, but Jordan caught it. "I'm sorry," the hostess finally said, her tone now firmly polite but empty. "We're fully booked tonight." Darius frowned, shifting his weight as his gaze flicked to the restaurant's interior. Several tables sat empty, pristine, and waiting. His pulse quickened with the slow burn of frustration. He knew exactly what this was. Jordan followed his nephew's gaze, letting the silence stretch. The air in the room grew heavier, the tension palpable. The hostess avoided his eyes, her fingers tightening around the edge of the podium. He could see the slight tremor in her grip, the unspoken discomfort. She knew. "You sure?" Jordan asked, his voice even almost amused. The manager finally stepped forward, his fake smile stretching a little too wide. "I'm afraid we're at capacity, sir. We appreciate your understanding." For a moment, nothing moved. Darius clenched his jaw. His uncle had been through enough battles in his career. There shouldn't have to be another one. He took a breath, about to say something, but Jordan placed a firm hand on his shoulder. "It's okay, D," he murmured. "But it's not okay." Without another word, he turned, walking back toward the Bentley. Darius followed, glancing back once, half expecting the manager to change his mind. He didn't. Inside the car, Jordan pressed a number and held the phone to his ear. A few rings, then a voice answered. A smirk tugged at the corner of his lips. "If they don't want us here, I know just the place." Weeks passed. At first it was subtle 1 or 2 canceled reservations. Then, more. The once bustling Pinewood Grill began to feel the shift. The air around it changed, as whispers floated through the city like wildfire. "Did y'all hear about the Pinewood Grill?" Apparently they turned away Michael Jordan. "No way." "Jordan? Seriously?" "The word is they didn't want his kind there. The internet's eating them alive." It started online, a rumor drifting through social media. Then it became a movement. Reviews tanked. Longtime patrons pulled their business elsewhere. High-profile guests discreetly canceled bookings. The restaurant, once a symbol of exclusivity, now sat eerily quiet on what used to be their busiest nights. And across the street, something new was happening. A long line stretched down the block. A red carpet rolled out for the grand opening of a new establishment. A neon sign glowed above the entrance, its elegant gold lettering impossible to miss. Jordan Steakhouse, a place for everyone. Inside, the energy was electric. Waiters weaved between tables carrying platters of sizzling steak, the scent of seared perfection filling the air. Handcrafted cocktails glistened under the warm ambient lighting. A jazz band played in the corner, adding a smooth, rhythmic heartbeat to the night. Laughter and conversation rolled through the restaurant like a living, breathing force. In a private booth near the back, Jordan watched the scene unfold, his presence understated yet commanding. Across from him, Darius sat shaking his head, a disbelieving grin playing on his lips. "You really did this," Darius murmured, leaning back against the booth. Jordan swirled the whiskey in his glass, the dim lighting catching the sharp glint in his eyes. "Revenge isn't about anger," he said, taking a slow sip. "It's about action." Outside, the Bentley sat parked at the curb, waiting. A reminder that some doors close but others, they're built from the ground up. The Bentley, its polished surface reflecting the glow of Jordan's Steakhouse. The hum of the bustling crowd carries over the street, a testament to a shift in power. Greatness isn't given, it's earned. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that subscribe button to support the channel. And want more inspiring stories like this? Give this video a like and comment below with your thoughts. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Jordan Steakhouse, standing tall against the night.